Today we went hiking. It was just a girl hike, so me and Brittany and a friend came out and we're at the top already. We're starting this video backwards. You get to see from the top down on our hike. We are at the RVing ice fields at Exit Glacier. Check out this view from the top.
Traveling, exploring, and learning on the road. Fun family road trip.
The glacier is huge. The whole way up I was trying to catch my breath, so I wasn't going to try to record also. So I'll show you on the way down, but on our way up, check out what we did see. Alright, so we're sitting here having lunch, and Brittany looked up the hill, and there's a bear. And it looks like he's heading our way, so we may need to end our lunch. I guess we're going to get up and get moving now. Our lunch break is over. Maybe he's going to head back up that way.
I don't really know what happens when this happens. A bear? I think he just tried to stay out of their way. Maybe.
Alright, I'm not finding him on the camera now. He's right there in the bush. He's coming out. Wait, let me zoom out to find him.
We're on doing the RVing ice field hike.
Alright, there he is.
Lunch.
He's sniffing around. Let's see what he's gonna do. He's smelling us. You see him with his nose up in the air?
They can smell for 5 miles away.
He's not really coming after us. He's staying up there, but I'm sure he knows we're here. We almost didn't bring our bear spray because I didn't see anything saying there were bears here, and then the last minute I noticed online that bears are seen almost every day here, so we packed it. Hopefully we don't need to use it. Alright, here's where the bear was. We've hiked up to it, so luckily he's down, and we were right down on the trail. So luckily he's gone off into the bushes and we don't need to worry about him. Now we're up above the clouds. Makes the mountains look even smaller because you only see the tops. Luckily he just left us alone and went on his way. We are going to sit at the top and take a break now, and then we'll head down. So this trail is 9 miles round trip, starting at a visitor center up to the top. There's a couple different stops that you could take along the way if you didn't want to do the full hike. We opted for the whole thing because we wanted to see it. And I'm still out of breath. It is gorgeous up here. Here's the back side at the end of the trail. You can just see the tips of those mountains over there peeking out. The RVing ice field contains a couple different glaciers. I think it said 10. I'd have to check to make sure. So this one's the Exit Glacier that we are at, and they're just separated between the mountains. So I think they're all right in the same area back here. It is a strenuous hike for sure. In the National Park website, it says only for experienced hikers. Some people will hike in with their big packs. You can camp here. There's one little shelter we'll show you on the way down that's an emergency weather shelter. It's not for camping overnight, but big storms can blow through, and so if you need a place to hide out from the storms, they do have a little shelter for that. There were gorgeous wildflowers the whole way up. It was an awesome hike, well worth it, but it'll definitely get you into shape if you're not already. Down towards the bottom of the glacier, from here you can kind of see the blue ice. When we hike down a ways, there's a better view of it. Alright, so this is the emergency shelter in case there's a storm. You can come hide out in here. It's near the top, and it's just a little building with a shovel. It says no overnights in here, but if you were out here and there was a big storm coming through, at least you'd have a place to get away from it. And a nice view. So it's middle of July right now, and so there are still patches. It says 70% of the ground is covered in snow at the top. Just like the last mile or two has snow, and the rest on the bottom is nice and clear. So they have these orange little flags marking the trail. Since it's snowy, you wouldn't know where to go otherwise. And so it says that you may see other trails going off different directions, but just follow the flags, and then you'll find your way. Well, out here, there's all these red stripes in the snow. It's like underneath layer is red, and it's melting off in these strips. I'm not sure what causes that. Maybe when we get to the bottom we can ask at the visitor center what that's all about. But they keep continuing up the mountain. The website said to bring sunscreen at the top, and we didn't, and we're getting red up here. It is nice and sunny, which is nice, but we should have brought some sunscreen along. But from up here you can see there's a bunch of clouds still over there in that valley. They've been there all day, and so we're glad that they cleared out over here so we had a nice view. And we're starting to come back into where we can see the bottom of the glacier and the blue ice. Alright, so the trail goes from rock right out onto the snow. But then you can hear the water flowing underneath, and there's holes. And it's a ways down there. That's kind of scary. I would not want it to cave in while we're up here. There's another big hole. Oh, we will carefully tread across this snow. Once the snow melts, I would guess you're just kind of getting across the creek. Although, once the snow melts, the creek would be less because the water wouldn't be flowing so much. So here's another one. We're crossing on top of the ice, above the water. It's really slippery. You will, and it looks like if you slide down there, you'll break the ice and you'll go right in. Now we're getting down out of the snow, and we can see all these beautiful wildflowers on the hill. One lady we passed said, "Don't you feel like you're in the Sound of Music out on the big green hill?" And of course, she sang to us. The hike down has definitely been easier than the hike up. We're making really good time heading down. There's our trail. You can see, maybe you can see, people down there where we're headed. So I've had a really bad cold the last couple days, and my ears have been plugged and my nose has been runny. So I brought lots of toilet paper. I keep blowing my nose. But it is still well worth it. This has been an awesome hike so far. So if you're ever in Alaska, near Exit Glacier, this is a hike I would recommend. Here is the most awesome view of the blue ice. You can see all those deep crevices in the ice. So we looked into going ice climbing, where they give you all the climbing gear and you go with a guide. It was about $250 per person. So we opted out of that and we decided to just do hiking up here instead. That's crazy how loud that water is down there. Alright, we're almost down. This part of the hike is completely covered in trees all the way around, so that's nice and shaded, giving us a break from the sun and the heat, and we're almost to the bottom. We finally made it down. I said we were almost down, and that was not true. We still had a long way to go, but we finally did make it down. We went into the nature center behind us and asked about the red snow. Check out what he had to say.
Things actually can live on the ice, cold as it might be, and we have an algae up here that we refer to as watermelon ice, and it's kind of a reddish color that grows on the ice. And interestingly enough, there is something that actually eats it. There is a species of worm that lives inside the ice called, very cleverly, ice worms. And they live off the algae that can grow on the ice, and they also live off of pollen that flows into it. The ice worm can handle temperatures from about 5 below freezing to about 5 above freezing, and they live within that area of about this much in the top of the ice. And the watermelon ice, yeah, we can see that pretty much at any time, but mostly at this time of the year. Sometimes it'll show up on the snow, especially towards the top of the hill. Sometimes it'll show up on the glacier. I'm not entirely sure what the scientific name of it is, but we call it watermelon ice. It makes it sound like it's much more red than it actually is, but it's much more spread out, and it's not that unusual.
It's a good hike, huh?
Yeah.
Worth doing again?
No.
Was it worth it once?
It was worth it, yes.
It was awesome. Great views at the top. Very
Not want to do it
strenuous.
again. That was exhausting.
It was exhausting going up and
Got a
hard on the
bad
knees coming down.
Sunburn on my back right there.
And we got good sunburn, so we are ready to go relax. See you later.